Welcome back. We're just 2 days away from Thanksgiving, but not everyone is making their way to the kitchen like me. So if you're still looking to celebrate with a good meal, we've got you covered with Durden's Catering, located on the Avenue of Fashion. And who better to talk about that than Chef Tony Durden? Thanks all for coming in this morning.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me so much.
Yeah, so before we get to all this fantastic food, let's get to the basics. If somebody's like me and they don't want to cook for Thanksgiving, how do they hook up with you to get some great food?
We're located at 20504 Livernois. Right here.
Simple as that.
I got you. All the sides you need, I got you. From macaroni, greens, yams, dressing, I got you.
I like to hear that. Okay, now let's talk about some of this great food we got here. Let's start over here with the greens. Tell me about what's in there.
So we have our famous collard greens with smoked turkey necks, cooked slow and slow.
That's how it's done, right?
4 hours, fork tender.
Well, you must have a lot of time cooking everything low and slow, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got nothing but time. I'm just joking. Chefs are always busy.
We ain't rushing. We ain't gonna rush this process. We trust this process.
You ain't rushing. All right, now let's get to the mac and cheese because I got to try a little bit of this.
Let's go. We got about 8 different cheeses in there, sir.
8 cheeses. Oh yeah, you can see how nice and gooey that is. So, I know you don't want to give away the whole recipe, but as I'm chowing down on this, tell me about some of the cheese in there.
Good cheese.
Good cheese.
Gouda cheese, Munster, Havarti.
And that just kind of just disintegrates in your mouth in the best kind of way. I wish I could identify all 8 of those cheeses, but I'll just say the cheese is fantastic. Now, if I wasn't wearing this tie, I'd dig into one of these because these look so good, but I didn't bring my bib. So what exactly are these?
These are called grippers. And so they are oversized sandwiches that you have to gripper. So whether it's 1 hand, 2 hands, you have to gripper. We don't cut them in half, we gripper.
Yeah, that's definitely 2-hander. Now, what kind of special sauce do you have on this one back? You get some jalapenos, I see. And...
Yep, that right there is the Chef Tony. So we have jalapenos, blue cheese dressing, pickles, coleslaw.
And now these are all different. So what's on this one? You got a different kind of sauce.
That's the catfish gripper. That is our Sweet Lou sauce. That is our most universal sauce that we have that can pair with anything that's on our menu.
Sweet Lou?
Sweet Lou, named after my granddaddy, Louis Johnson.
That was my next question. All right, sounds like a great man. Now, what's the sauce on this? I'm going through all these sauces.
That's the Rockin' Rodeo. So that is the fried chicken breast dipped in the Rockin' Rodeo barbecue sauce, pepper jack cheese, served with onion rings.
And finally, this one.
That is the original, the OG Young Gripper that started it all back in 2019.
You passed the test. You know what's on all your grippers. I like that. That's nice. Now, you got some yams over here?
That was our sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, okay.
Sweet potatoes.
I like, potatoes. You get all the toes in there. I'll give him one of these, too. You got some sweetness on that. I like that. Is that honey?
Little honey drizzle, brown sugar cooked down.
I like that. Very good. Now, tell us what it means to be serving the community. I mean, you're a chef. You love to cook food for people. What's it mean to be in the community like Detroit?
For me, passion meets the plate. It's the joy that people get out when they eat good food. So you have the potential. I have the potential to change someone's day with good food.
Yeah.
No matter what walk of life we come from, me and you sit down at the table and we have something good. That's our first commonality. Now, and then from that, relationships build.
When did you get interested in cooking and cooking for people? Was it little Tony in the kitchen, or when did this come about?
Literally 3 years old. I've been in the kitchen since 3 years old. I celebrate this year professionally 19 years.
Okay, so what are you making at 3 years old? Are you just grabbing whatever's on the counter?
Literally standing on the crate and helping mix up anything I could. Just get my hands in it.
Help Mama?
Yeah, Mama, Grandma, anybody who's in the kitchen, I was helping.
Yeah, and you know what? And now you're expanding as well. You're just opening up a restaurant in Houston?
Houston, Texas. Pearland, Texas, right outside of Houston. Yep, it's called the Gripper Kitchen.
Okay, so is it same menu as here, different menu? What do you do?
It's kind of a fusion between the two. We have a more solidified. Here, I used to change the menu every day. There, I have a solid menu and with a sit down. We have about 60 seats sit down. Community's taking it very well out there, and it's a different style of food that they're used to out in Texas.
Okay, so is this part of the whole Durden's Catering plan to take over America?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you plan more expansion?
One gripper at a time.
One gripper at a time, that's right. Well, when people see these, they'll definitely want them. Now, the one thing we didn't touch on here is one of my favorite, deviled eggs. What makes a good deviled egg?
Balance.
Balance?
Balance, the mustard, the mayonnaise, the relish, a little paprika, a little Cajun spice.
Ooh, you really sold that one.
Balance.
I've never heard a deviled egg talked about so sensationally.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Okay, so once again, where do people go if they want to try one of your grippers?
20504 Livernois. We're right on the Avenue of Fashion, right next to Baker's Keyboard Lounge. Check us out there. You got to try one of these deviled eggs, though.
I will. I'll give it a go. I'm not very shy.
Me, if you know anything about me, deviled eggs are my favorite, and I'm going to have one with you.
Oh, yeah. The perfect mix. That's right. Chef Durden, you don't lie. It's all good. Hey, if you don't want to cook for Thanksgiving, you know where to go. Visit Durden's Catering. You get some of these. A gripper for Thanksgiving. Sounds like a great idea.